Toyota is Japan's largest automaker, and it is struggling as low-priced Chinese EV makers like BYD continue gaining an edge. Toyota's global output fell for the first time in 4 years in the first half of 2024. Its worldwide output also dropped for the 8th straight month in September. Is the company's slow shift to EVs to blame? The company most vehemently opposes EVs and insists that hybrids and hydrogen cars are the future. Remember Kodak and film? Kodak, the world leader in the emulsion film industry since its inception in 1888, spent years arguing that this technology was better than the rapidly emerging transition to digital photography. And while it was a case at the start, digital soon caught up and eventually overtook film. This market transition killed Kodak because despite being a global, well-entrenched incumbent, it adamantly resisted change, arrogantly clinging to the dying product of film processing, refusing to adapt, despite all indications that not doing so poses an existential threat to the century-old company. The internal combustion engine to EV transition with Toyota is shaping up the same way. The destiny of slow adopters in tech, no matter their size and market presence, is a story often repeated, and giants fall when they fail to adapt. Here are several examples where companies, akin to Kodak, failed to adapt to significant technological shifts. Nokia, the smartphone miss. Nokia, once the titan of mobile phones, epitomized the market with its durable and functional handsets. However, when Apple introduced the iPhone in 2007, Nokia's reluctance to embrace the smartphone revolution became its Achilles heel. Despite having the resources and technology, Nokia was slow to transition from its successful feature phone model to a comprehensive smartphone ecosystem, leading to a significant loss in market share and eventual sale of its mobile division to Microsoft. Blockbuster, overlooking streaming. Blockbuster was the go-to place for movie rentals, a physical testament to the entertainment consumption. Yet, as streaming services like Netflix began to gain traction, Blockbuster underestimated the shift in consumer behavior towards on-demand online content. Their late entry into the online rental market, coupled with a failure to innovate beyond physical stores, led to their bankruptcy in 2010. Blockbuster's story is a stark reminder of how underestimating digital distribution can lead to obsolescence. Blackberry missed the touchscreen memo. Blackberry, or Research in Motion, RIM as it was formerly known, dominated the business communication sector with its QWERTY keyboard phones. However, with the advent of touchscreens, particularly after iPhone's success, Blackberry failed to pivot effectively. Their initial foray into touchscreens was marred by delays and lacked by the developer support necessary to thrive in the app-driven mobile market. By the time they attempted to catch up, the market had moved on, leaving BlackBerry behind. General Motors, GM, the electric vehicle flop. In the automotive industry, GM's story with the EV1 is particularly telling. They developed one of the first modern electric vehicles, but due to various strategic missteps, including lack of consumer education, insufficient infrastructure, and ultimately a recall and destruction of the vehicles, GM backed away from EVs, claiming there was no market for EVs. Years later, as the market for EVs grew, GM found itself playing catch-up with companies like Tesla, which had by then established dominance in the electric vehicle space. So, Toyota, slow to shift gears. Currently, Toyota is facing a scenario reminiscent of the above tales with the transition from internal combustion engine to electric vehicles. Toyota, a leader in hybrid technology with the Prius, has been notably cautious about fully embracing battery electric vehicles. Their focus on hydrogen fuel cells as a potential alternative has delayed their aggressive move into the EV market, a strategy that might see them losing ground as traditional competitors, along with the onslaught of Chinese rivals obsessively focused on EVs, wholeheartedly embrace the transportation electrification. The common thread: each of these companies listed shared a common vulnerability, an inability or reluctance to adapt to technological change. Whether due to an irrational attachment to legacy products, underestimation of new technologies, or an internal culture arrogantly resistant to innovation, clinging to status quo, these firms fail to foresee or react adequately to shifts that fundamentally altered their industries. So the lessons learned: anticipation and adaptation. Companies must not only anticipate technological shifts, but actively participate in shaping them. Cultural agility. To survive in the changing markets requires an organizational culture that embraces innovation and isn't afraid to disrupt its own business model. Understanding consumer trends. Deep insight into where consumer behavior is headed can guide strategic pivots. The downfall of these giants serves as a stark reminder in today's rapidly evolving tech landscape: adapt or perish. The market does not wait for laggards. It rewards the pioneers, the agile, and the visionaries. While investing in hybrids and hydrogen tech, Toyota continues to underestimate the EV market's growth, potentially echoing Kodak's fate if it doesn't pivot decisively toward electric vehicles, illustrating that even industry leaders must adapt swiftly to technological shifts or risk becoming obsolete.